Today, I will give you a short introduction of the elements of a short story. A short story is different from a novel in that it is not a novel in fragment as some might think. Rather, it is like a drop of water, complete in itself with a single uniform idea, unity of motive, of purpose, of action, and in addition, unity of impression. Again, the single, uniform idea must be worked out to its logical conclusion with absolute singleness of aim and directness of method. This essential principle of unity is the main characteristic of every good short story. Now, a novel is distinguished from the short story chiefly by the elements which are so woven into its texture that it becomes difficult to detect any central organizing principle. In the case of the short story, however, the germinal idea must be perfectly clear. Singleness of aim and singleness of effect are the two tests by which we can value a short story as a piece of art. The attainment of unity is one of the principal difficulties faced by short story writer. In order to attain this, he must omit everything superfluous and redundant. Proper perspective must be maintained, the emphasis justly distributed, the necessary values given to the successive movements of the narrative, and the separate parts strictly subordinated to the whole. Again, the writer should pay proper attention to technical defects, which stand out more glaringly than in a novel. Besides these considerations, a short story is free to handle any aspect of life. It may deal with a dramatic incident or situation, a telling scene, a closely coordinated series of events, a phase of character, a bit of experience, an aspect of life, a moral problem, and innumerable other motives. Thus, the short story today has gained in popularity because of all these elements. Not because the novel's popularity has declined, but because of the rush of modern life. The short story cannot displace the novel because it cannot meet the novel on the latter's own ground or do what the novel does. It cannot exhibit life in all its variety and complexity, for that needs a larger canvas than the short story provides. Nor can it deal with evolution of character. We have to live for some time with men and women and see them in different relationships and circumstances before we really get to know them. In the short story, we meet people for a few minutes and see them only in a few relationships and circumstances. It could be argued that concentration on a particular aspect of character may result in a very powerful impression. The less critical reader will instinctively feel that the effect is greatly enhanced by that concentration of interest, which inevitably results when such a subject is put into so small a space, and in particular by the fact that no extraneous matter is allowed to intrude between the moment of Rip Van Winkle's falling asleep and that of his waking. Now, this collection of short stories prescribed for you mainly focuses on characters and situations familiar in modern life. Many readers cannot appreciate stories that give delight to an older generation. The types of schools and law courts that Dickens, for instance, describes in his novels are relics of the past. His Victorian characters are difficult to recognize in a modern situation. Young people today therefore find that those novels do not communicate with them personally. We hope that this selection of narrative, of situations, and description of persons from modern society will appeal and relate to you, young readers, more directly. Thank you.